Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Okay, today what I want you to do is put aside your thoughts, your experiences in regards to the word Tantra or tantric practices or whatever word you use for Tantra. Okay, so what I want to do is actually just read you something really quickly as I'm really starting to dive deep into this book. I have been practicing Tantra for a while, for many years, in regards to breath work, yoga, mudras, the connection with myself and with others, Shaktism. There's a whole lot of many aspects to the Tantra experience. But what I want to do is just read a little bit from this book, The Tantra Experience. Okay, and you can see it's OSHO here, but it's Discourses on the Royal Song of Sahara. So I just want to sort of read a little bit from this book, just a little bit of introduction. Okay, just to put aside all your thoughts in regards to Tantra and let's sort of explore this a little bit. Let me read the introduction. Okay. Out of the ancient prehistoric worship of Mother Earth arose an all-embracing, truly holistic vision of life, the Tantra vision. Tantra, which can be translated as the essential thread, winds its way through the most vibrantly alive and creatively rich parts of every religion. Okay, both Hinduism and Jainism met and were enriched by Tantra. It influenced the Christian Gnostics and the Mohammedan, sorry, I can't even speak today, Mohammedan Sufis. The flame of Tantric Buddhism is kept alive to this day by the Tibetan Lamas. This branch, which lives today in Tibet, was founded by Sahara. In a way, Sahara has had two masters, one being Kirti, who is in direct descent from Buddha. The other, the more mysterious and colourful master, the wise arrowsmith woman, who we meet in this book, is a tantrika, a tantric adept. Through these two, Sahara found his inner truth, his Buddha nature. This book is a contemporary commentary on the timeless wisdom of Sahara by the enlightened mystic Osho. Osho has taken on the task of assisting people to discover their own truth. To realize this goal, he uses every possible tool available to him. He is perhaps the first master to marry Western esoteric sciences with Eastern esoteric sciences for a truly holistic approach to life. In this regard, the ability to utilize every aspect of life without rejecting anything, he is a modern tantric master. The marriage of East and West, past and present, lies at the core of this fascinating multidimensional book. The royal song of Sahara, delivered to the king in the middle of a cremation grounds by the ecstatic Sahara, is so powerful that when the king heard, he was enlightened on the spot. Sahara brings together the Buddha's message of meditations with the tantric theme of unconditional acceptance. Osho's commentary beautifully captures the colour, fragrance, the very heart of Sahara's experience, of his personal radical journey, and of his messages. On this foundation, Osho then adds his own insights, his modern expression of the mystical path. The sutras of Sahara's song alternate with questions from 20th century seekers from around the world. Osho's spontaneous responses to these personal queries form the third layer of the book, and there is yet another, a fourth layer, where it exists between the lines. This is the warm, loving, playful, yet poignant and insightful interaction between master and disciple, between seekers of the path and one who has reached the goal. It is a glimpse into how a mystic works and takes us to our very life source, to the search for truth. It demonstrates how words can take us into silence, and how silence brings us into a direct knowing of the truth. If you are open and available to speak, to soak up the flavour of this book, it can propel you on your own mystical journey into the essence of reality. It is not only a book about a topic, it is the topic itself. It is a finger pointing to the moon, as well as the moon itself. All those who are courageous enough to explore their own interiority are invited to come along. Okay, so just take a moment to take a breath. Okay, so just want you to take a breath for a moment, and just to have a little, just take a nice big breath. Just take a nice big breath, that's it. Just take a moment. Take a nice big breath, that's it. And just listen to the first part. I'm going to break this up. I'm not going to do this all in one go. We're just going to do a little bit at a time. So chapter 1, aiming at the one. The Royal Song of Sahara. Just take a listen to this. I bow down to noble Manaposi. Okay, Manaposi. I bow down to him who has conquered the finite. As calm water, lashed by wind, turns into waves and rollers, so the king thinks of Sahara in many ways, although one man. To a fool who squints, one lamp is as two, where seen and seer are not to row. Ah, the mind works on the thingness of them both. Though the house lamps have been lit, the blind live on in the dark. Though spontaneity is all-encompassing, close to the deluded, it remains always far away. Though there may be many rivers, they are one in the sea. Though there may be many lies, one truth will conquer all. When one sun appears, the dark, however deep, will vanish. Okay, so Gautama the Buddha is the greatest master who has ever walked on the earth. Christ is a great master. So is Krishna. So is Mahivira. So is Muhammad, and many more. But Buddha still remains the greatest master. Not that his achievement of enlightenment is greater than anyone else's. Enlightenment is neither less nor more. He has attained to the same quality of consciousness as Mahavira, as Christ, as Zarathustra, as Lao Tzu. There is no question of any enlightened man being more enlightened than anybody else. But as far as his being a master is concerned, Buddha is incomparable, because through him thousands of people have attained to enlightenment. It has never happened with any other master. His line has been the most fruitful line. His family has been the most creative family up to now. He is like a big tree with so many branches, and each branch has been fruitful. Each branch is loaded with many fruits. Mahavira remained a local phenomenon. Krishna fell into the hands of scholars and was lost. Christ was completely destroyed by the priests. Much could have happened, but it didn't happen. Buddha has been tremendously fortunate in this. Not that the priests have not tried, not that the scholars have not tried. They have done all that they can do, but somehow Buddha's teachings was devised in such a way that it could not be destroyed. It is still alive. Even after 25 centuries, a few flowers come on his tree. It still blooms. Spring comes, and still it releases fragrance. It still bears fruit. Sahara is also a fruit of the same tree. Sahara was born about 2 centuries after Buddha. He was in the direct line of a different branch. One branch moves From Mahakashipa to Bodhisattva and Zen is born, and it is still full of fruit, full of flowers. That branch, another branch moves from Buddha to his son Rahubhadra, and from Rahubhadra to Shirkiti, and from Shirkiti to Sahara, and from Saraha to Nagarjuna. That is the Tantra branch. It is still bearing fruit in Tibet. Tantra converted Tibet, and Sahara is the founder of Tantra, just as Bodhisattva is the founder of Zen. Bodhidharma conquered China, Korea, Japan. Sahara conquered Tibet. These songs of Sahara are of great beauty. They are of the very foundation of Tantra. You will first have to understand the Tantra attitude towards life, the Tantra vision of life. The most basic thing about Tantra is this, and very radical, revolutionary, rebellious. The basic vision is that the world is not divided into the lower and the higher, but that the world is one piece. The higher and the lower are holding hands. The higher includes the lower, and the lower includes the higher. The higher is hidden in the lower, so the lower has not to be denied, has not to be condemned, has not to be destroyed or killed. The lower has to be transformed, the lower has to be allowed to move upwards, and the lower becomes the higher. There is no unbridgeable gap between the devil and the God. The devil is carrying God deep down in his heart. Once the heart starts functioning, the devil becomes God. That is the reason why the very root of the word devil means the same as divine. The word devil comes from divine. That is the divine, not yet involved. That's all. Not that the devil is against the divine. Not that the devil is trying to destroy the divine. In fact, the devil is trying to find the divine. The devil is on the way towards the divine. It is not the enemy, it is the seed. The divine is the tree fully in bloom, and the devil is the seed. But the tree is hidden in the seed, and the seed is not against the tree. In fact, the tree cannot exist if the seed is not there, and the tree is not against the seed. They are in deep friendship. They are together. Poison and nectar are two phases of the same energy. So are life and death, and so is everything. Day and night, love and hate, sex and superconsciousness. Tantra says, never condemn anything. The attitude of condemnation is a stupid attitude. By condemning something, you are denying yourself the possibility that would have become available to you if you had involved the lower. Don't condemn the mud because the lotus is hidden in the mud. Use the mud to produce the lotus. Of course, the mud is not the lotus yet, but it can be. And the creative person, the religious person, will help the mud to release its lotus, so the lotus can be freed from the mud. Sahara is the founder of the Tantra vision. It is of tremendous import, and particularly for the present moment in human history, because a new man is striving to be born. A new consciousness is knocking on the doors, and the future is going to be that of Tantra, because now dual attitudes can no longer hold man's mind. They have tried for centuries, and they have crippled man, and they have made man guilty, and they have not made man free. They have made man a prisoner, and they have not made man happy either. They have made man very miserable. They have condemned everything from food to sex. They have condemned everything from relationship to friendship. They have condemned all. Love is condemned. Body is condemned. Mind is condemned. They have not left a single inch for you to stand on. They have taken away all, and man is hanging, just hanging. This state of man cannot be tolerated anymore. Tantra can give you a new perspective. Hence, I have chosen Sahara. Sahara is one of my most loved persons. It is my old love affair. You may not even have heard the name of Sahara, but Sahara is one of the greatest benefactors of humanity. If I were to count on my fingers 10 benefactors of humanity, Sahara would be one of those 10. If I were to count 5, then 2 I would not be able to drop Sahara. Before we enter into the songs of Sahara, a few things about Sahara's life. Sahara was born to Vidarbha. Vidarbha is part of Maharashtra, very close to Pune. He was born when King Mahabala was the ruler. He was the son of a very learned Brahmin who was in the court of the King Mahabala. The father was in the court, so the young man was also in the court. He had 4 brothers. They were all great scholars, and he was the youngest and the most intelligent of them all. His fame was spreading all over the country by and by, and the king was almost enchanted by his superb intelligence. The 4 brothers were also great scholars, but nothing compared with Sahara. Okay, we will continue in the next video. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed be.